I went back February 2006. When I arrived, it had actually been a battalion commander in charge. And when I walked into his office and told him that I was turning over with him, he was a lieutenant colonel and I was still the first lieutenant at the time, he thought I was joking with him. We were in charge of accountability, training, good order and discipline, mental health.
Was that a lot of responsibility for a first lieutenant?
Probably. The one that really sticks out in my mind the most that is difficult is when you're 24 years old and you're making decisions for people around their mental health. That one's really, really tough because you yourself are still so much a child. And then we had rocket attacks, all the time. They were all dumb bombs, They were gonna go wherever they were gonna go. So there was almost this attitude like, well, let's see what happens. You're trying to have a good attitude and you're there to do your job. And I think at the end of the day, you're just there for the people on the left and right. And then we start to sound like the Vietnam guys. I learned more in that year than I think a lot of people learn in a lifetime. There's a wisdom that you gain that kind of ages you. Mentally, I felt 40 or 50 when I got out. It makes it really hard to be around civilians that still have a lot of growing up to do. And then I found myself with a lot of survivor guilt around getting to have a normal life and getting to get married and still having the opportunity to have children, like you're seeing all of these things. And I'd had at that point multiple friends that had been widowed. It was a difficult transition. Working at the Veterans Ranch is not something I would have seen myself doing 2 years ago. I know nothing about nonprofit fundraising, but I know this mission. It's so much like sitting on top of that bunker and watching the Battle of Fallujah.
Look at the battle here is in everybody's minds.
Mm-hmm. Your experiences, no matter how traumatic, have to integrate with your life for you to be a whole person. We're seeing it with our Vietnam vets now. You can't keep that locked away and just keep functioning. It's gonna catch back up to you. I don't think there is a one size fits all mental health solution, and I think that's one reason the ranch works, because you're meeting the person where they're at. You have to relearn, to appreciate awe. So the ranch hits that immediately, like beautiful mountain views. I guess it's a reconnection to innocence, very much so. We're really trying to build sustainable agriculture here, where we have lots of different avenues in nature like this. It's a very organic way to reintegrate your senses. During the week, we maintain this sanctuary space for veterans to come out here and really talk about some heavy issues if needed. And just have camaraderie among veterans. Where can a person go when they're truly in crisis? this is one of those places, and that's what brought me out here initially. I would go back and go in the Marine Corps all over again. I'd serve my country again. I think it's really important that everyone gets out of their comfort zone, out of their social bubble, out of their local place that they grew up, and gets into something that they serve, something greater than themselves. Military service does that. There's a lot of things you can do to serve that hit those marks, but everyone needs to grow as a person. It's critical.